Sunday racing, of course, everybody. Happy President's Day. Tim, how you doing so far? How's your week starting off?
Well, starting at the races, so that's never a bad thing, as you mentioned. The President's Day card this afternoon. Nice carryover in the late pick five, which gets started in race number 5. So we're looking forward to that also.
Race number 1, though, starts the early pick 5, of course. We've got that little industry takeout coming at you. That starts in about 12 minutes in this $16,000 affair, which have never won 3 for the 4-year-olds and up girls. 7 furlongs on the dirt, Tim, and we're taking a look at your top selection right now. The number 6, awfully fast for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez.
And this one's dropping second off the claim for Jamie Ness. And by the numbers, those races that she ran this past fall down there at Gulfstream Park, well, they kind of stand over this field if she can get back to that type of race. Didn't run terrible the day that Jamie claimed this filly up there at the Parks. I'm going to give her a pass on that most recent start. Didn't show up that day, but she's getting class relief here this afternoon. She's had just over a month since her last race. Jamie hits about 24% and a good work up there at Parks for this daughter of Will Take Charge. So I'll take her at 7-2. Jamie Ness, 7-2. All day long.
Let's go all the way from the outside to the inside. Currently 9-5 for the 1. Rock Rose for Anthony Ferrier gets Arnaldo Boca Chica for the first time today.
First off the claim for Ferrier. He does quite well, about 27%. This one's stretching to 7/8 of a mile for the first time in her career. She stays at this level that she just came out of in her most recent start, the day that Ferrier claimed this one. The race before was a first level allowance race, and she didn't run poorly that particular day, only got beat to 5 lengths. The race before that, though, going 3/4 of a mile on a muddy track, that was a big effort and a lifetime best where she got the job done at this level. So sharp work since, first time in the barn for Ferrier. Everything looks pretty good. These things sort of work their way out, and Ferrier gets what he's looking for.
Everything does look pretty peachy for her. Taking a look at how she's probably going to be running this race. Ultimately, she's going to be doing exactly what she did in her last one, just sitting right off of the pace. But she has the one post to contend with, and now if we look at the last time she was on the rail position, that was back at Pimlico, going 5 furlongs, but we extend out to 7. I just see the same type of dynamic happen. She's probably going to try and gun it for the lead a little bit, but she is, however, able to take that pressure from an inside post, which I do like. 8-5 right now.
Yeah, and I think she goes to the front. I mean, I think she probably gets to the front rather easily. I mean, there's no one really, unless awfully fast, is going to put some pressure, but there's really no one else in this field that's going to put a ton of pressure on, especially going 7/8 of a mile.
Sure, 9-5 on Rock Rose there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 3, Villa Regia for Jason Libertini gets William Humphrey. This is Keith Fustel's best bet of the day to start off President's Day.
Well, back in the barn of the Cash Libertini. This one was in the Libertini Cash barn earlier this year. Good effort right here at Laurel on November 24th. Going today's distance. Got the job done in a 2 lifetime 25,000. Ran a couple times up there in New York to not a terrible race, 2 back. Didn't show up in his most recent, her most recent, but again, back down here at Laurel, back in the Libertini Cash barn. Pretty effective going 7/8 of a mile, 6 starts, a win, 3 seconds and a third. So it certainly has to be respected. And if Keith Fusel likes her, I like her.
Hopefully we'll add to that tack of 7 furlongs. Will be the one coming from off the pace. As we mentioned, there will be enough speed for this filly to target here today. So Villa Regia back in the cash barn at 5-2. The number 5 to the outside is Sweet Talia for Brandon McFarlane. Gets Carlos Lopez 5-1 right now. Might be coming up from off the pace again with this one.
Probably. I look at this. She's getting back to 7/8 of a mile where she's run some decent races. She's hit the board with a win 3 times, 5 starts. However, as you just saw in the paddock, it's a little warm out, but it's not that warm out. And I remember last time she gets herself a little jacked up in the paddock, and you see she's getting a warm this afternoon.
Now we've got the number 1, currently 9-5 favorite of Rock Rose, first time in the barn for Ferrier. We've got 8 minutes to go to get your tickets in for that early pick 5 here on President's Day. selection by number of winners. Farrier makes it win at number 44 with Rock Rose and Arnaldo Bocachica at a price of $6 even.
Pretty straightforward. Got to the front from
Yep.
the rail, going 7/8 of a mile. Was low speed and just kind of kept going.
Didn't look back. Let's carry on to race number 2, which does start the early pick 4, of course, as we discussed earlier in the morning show. Keith's Ticket looks a little bit like this, going a bit 4 wide in this affair. This first leg is a starter optional 20. Race number 3, he goes 3 deep there, Spotted Bull being his top selection. Race number 4 in the allowance optional 62.5, he goes with La Marvelous and Circling the Drain as his top selection. In race number 5, he goes 9 at 12 in that effort, the 9 being his selection with Mr. Ripster, a nice $24 ticket to get things going. But let's circle back to the starter optional claiming $20,000, going the mile and an eighth on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Let's take a look, Tim, at a video of your top selection up against it with Damon DeLovico.
Yeah, this was from January 29th. You see the gray horse up in between there. And you can almost tell we're going to have some trouble going down the backside at some point. He's in a little tight here. He's in a little tight. It doesn't get a whole lot better as he gets into the turn. Here it comes. We're going to say, whoa, 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 in a little trouble. Put the 3 in a little trouble, and then he gets going again. Gets to the outside, and once he gets to clean air, he comes with a pretty good sustained run, only getting beat 3 lengths to Thorny Tail, was not going to get caught that particular day. But keeps trying all the way down to the wire. This afternoon will be third off the break, and his return races as that one have been strong. 2 starts ago, going 2 turns. Now, keep in mind, that race was going the 1-turn mile. We stretch back out to the 2 turns this afternoon. That race from January 8th, that was a big effort. 80 Beyer speed figure, got the job done against Similar. And earlier last year, or fall, in September, a big race with an 81 Beyer speed figure. He has races on his form right now, third off the layoff for Damon DeLovico. That will certainly work.
And I agree. I think especially considering that one he's on the dirt. This guy is a little bit one-paced, doesn't have this crazy turn of foot. So I think with him coming back after that little check at the half mile really gave into an account of how this guy is doing. So hopefully this mile and eighth will be no problem for him today. But
he's got no turn of foot on the turf. He's 1 for 13, so he looks like he might be a little bit better on the dirt. So we like him on the dirt.
The number 1, 2-1, even 2-1 right now is we're going to take a look for you, Tim. Visual artist for Jamie Ness breaking out of the rail with Jamie Rodriguez on top.
Second off the break for Jamie, about 33%. 3 wins here at Laurel Park, including a co-life best on a fast track, and that was back here on where's that race? Back last March. 80 Beyer speed figure that day, got beat length and a half at a first level allowance race. His recent form is very good. He draws the rail this afternoon. He's got some speed. I expect him to be well placed as they go into the first turn.
As they probably well should be. Let's go ahead and take a look who you have underneath. I have on top in the number 5. I take a stab at a little bit of a price in the 5 Walkaway Joe for Phil Capuano. Gets Kevin Gomez today.
Yeah, this was a tough one. He was winless in 2022. He always takes some money. He draw a line through his last start. Not sure what happened there. But his 7 previous starts, he's 4-1 or better, or 2.5 to 1 or better. Doesn't find the winner's circle. He runs the figures to win. He's bet like he's going to win, and he doesn't win. So maybe he can turn it around today going a mile and eighth. He does show that nice race going a mile and eighth in November where he ran a good, strong figure, but he was second, getting beat 4 lengths. So hopefully he can break through today. He's going to take money again today. Well, not maybe so much. He'll come down from that 5-1, but maybe he can break through and get to the winner's circle.
We'll see what happens there. You also have the 4 underneath, but on the screen we have the 2-1 favorite right now. Visual artist for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez to kick off this early pick 4. The pool is at $6,000 and climbing. You got 8 minutes to get in on the action. Clubman Gets the job done at a 1.125 distance at 8 to 1, a $19.60 winner for Robbie Bales and Xavier Perez. Race number 3 kicks off this claiming 5,000 event for the 6-year-old on the 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Let's take a look at your current 3-2 favorite. A race back on the November 26th of Spotted Bull. In race 2 mid-turn to the wire.
Yeah, he didn't get away the best that particular day. This race was going 5.5 furlongs. I've always liked him a little bit better going short, 5.5, 3/4 of a mile. He's always seemed like a closing sprinter to me. But he puts in a really, really good run here this particular afternoon. Back in November, he ends up only getting beat a length for the whole thing and tries all the way down there, getting beat to Great Go-Go. He's back at the level that he belongs at today. This is a race that you're looking at was at this beaten nickel level. Then he tried to starter in January. That didn't work. Now his last 2 races, he's been back at this beaten nickel level, the exact same race you're seeing here, and he's back being competitive. He ran behind Still Having Fun, who was dropping to the very, very bottom. Still Having Fun was a graded stakes winner earlier in his career, and since has been retired to run into Top Boss the race before that. But I like his races going short, 3/4 of a mile, 5.5. This is a good level for him. Kieran McGee, Jamie Rodriguez, about 41%, 48% over the last 2 years. Not a ton of horses, but still, when they hook up, they're winning almost half the time.
8 to 5 now on the board. 11 minutes to go. Let's take a look at the rail horse. Jimmy the Kid for Rudy Sanchez Solomon gets Yomar Ortiz, going to try to possibly take it to the front and not look back off the rail.
Yeah, after a slow start to 2023, Rudy Sanchez Solomon has been heating it up lately. This one comes in here out of that beaten 5.5 race on February 3rd. Not a bad effort behind the Tom Terrific. The 2 starts prior to that, all at that $5,000 level. Good efforts. He's got some speed down from the fence. Now, he doesn't have to use it. He's got some races where he doesn't particularly go to the front, including those 2 races going 5.5. But he's going to be prominent early, whether he decides to get to the front because he does have that rail draw, or he lays a little bit. We'll have to see what Yomar Ortiz chooses to do.
Yomar Ortiz putting in some good results with him both at Charlestown and at Laurel Park sets up well. Things are looking good with this trio here at 5 to 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the horse just next to him at a price of 14 to 1 on Dr. Rusty Raymond for Crystal Pickett and Bryson Butterfly.
Dropping to this beaten nickel level. Hasn't run this cheap in a long time, although did get beat at the beaten $8,000 level at Penn National in his last start. There's some races with numbers there, even though the results were just okay back at Charlestown and even Laurel October 29th with a decent figure, but soundly beaten. I just think the best you can do is pick up some pieces here. Got to use them up underneath.
The number 5 to the outside is, of course, Wild Behavior for Lacey Gaudette. Louis Riviera Jr. gets the call for this one. Tried at the claiming 8 last time up, but previously it was doing pretty well at the starter optionals.
Yeah, look, I mean, this horse, since the claim, has not run back to that October race when claimed at Keeneland. But look, if he can run back to those races from Churchill Downs and Oaklawn Park while dropping to this lower level, and we know a lot of times that's all it takes. Get to some other horses that you can push around a little bit. It might be good enough, but he's going to have to find that sort of form back here this afternoon.
Let's see if he does. Currently sharing 9 to 5 favoritism with the number 3. Let me just talk about really quickly about the number 4. Price of 6 to 1 on Bad Guy for Bob Caceres gets Horacio Caramanos, returns back to the 6 furlongs, and I think the 6 furlongs is really the key with this guy. Goes, hopefully, if he can run back to that effort when Caceres claimed him, has a shot of doing well underneath here.
Has earned $417,000 in his career with 6 wins, 10 seconds, 14 thirds. That's my caveat with him, 10 seconds and 14 thirds. But you're right, turning back in distance this afternoon, I think helps him for sure.
Here we go, 9 minutes to go. We are waiting for jockeys up here, 8 minutes just now for this 3rd race, and we hope to see you in race 4 at the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. Well, we haven't had one of those in quite a long time. A 99-1 shot winner on a Rascally Rebel, $205.80 winner for Mario Saray. And Georgie Hernandez, once he gets the win, fun things happen once you get that first win over here. Race number 6 is
quick note here, though.
12-5.
Quick note, $82,000 of new money bet into the late pick 5, about $92,000 in the kitty with that $205 winner in race 5. So if you had Rascally Rebel on your late pick 5 ticket, you could be sitting in a nice spot.
Race number 6 is a claiming 12-5 event, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-old fillies. Big scratch in the number 6 Cocktail Dreaming. Tim, you and I land on the number 5 Larimore for Claudio Gonzalez. Georgie Hernandez, let's see if you can get us 2 in a row.
Yeah, look, you have to, don't you? I mean, this one's dropping in half, coming out of a race where she just ran 5 lengths behind Happy Clouds. Happy Clouds is very, very good right now, and that was a good enough figure to win here this afternoon. 3 starts ago at Laurel, going 3/4 of a mile, got the job done at the $40,000 level. This is a big drop. She's going to be tough if she shows up here this afternoon.
The number 1, who you have underneath in your exacta, Tim, at 9-1 is Bayless Street for Hugh McMahon. Gets William Humphrey, comes from that claiming 20 back down to the 12-5 today.
Yeah, and the last 2 starts, who'd she run into? Happy Clouds, who's been very, very good. Same as Larimore. So she's been running into a horse that's in very, very good form. She's getting back to the level that she was claimed at 2 starts ago on January 18th. That's certainly not going to hurt either for Bayless Street, Hugh McMahon, and William Humphrey.
Number 4 is at 6-1 for Vegas Wildcat for Jamie Ness. Gets Jamie Rodriguez, comes back, broke the maiden at the 12-5, comes back to the 12-5.
Turning back in distance to 3/4 of a mile this afternoon, Jamie Ness, about 21%, is dropping in class to this claiming 12-5, coming out of that starter 25. Too long, too tough. But the 2 previous races were okay, beating 5 lengths in the 40, breaking her maiden for the maiden 25. I like when I see Ness runners come in with this kind of a little bit of a break, 3 good works up underneath her. I expect improvement this afternoon, and we're getting good 6-1 right now.
2-1 on the number 7. Don't Tell Darren for Jerry Robb. Gets Xavier Perez. This is Keith Fusel's value play of the day today, and finds herself at the second time at the claiming 12-5 level.
Yeah, 2-1 on the board. Look, you have to draw a line through the last one. Gets regular rider Xavier Perez back on this afternoon. 3 starts ago, going 5.5 on a fast track. Well, that's good enough to win here today, right? 51 by her speed figure. Comes back, doesn't run particularly well for that claiming 20, but we're back down to this level. If we don't have any problems during the running of the race, if she runs back to her 2 races previous to her most recent start, they can be good enough for sure.
We also include then underneath at a little bit of a price, 14-1 on Cowgirl Shine for Anthony Ferrier. Gets Leonardo Boca Chica. They're both looking for their second teamed up winner of the day. Comes off of a win, off of a little bit of a layoff from Charlestown at the 15 level. Bumps it up a notch today.
Yeah, look, making her debut here at Laurel Park, but does show a work on February 12th. She's been in good form over her last 4 starts. We'll see if she can handle these horses first time against winners, but very, very well entered for Anthony Ferrier, and of course getting Boca Chica, and they're very good together.
Will Ferrier and Boca Chica give us our second winner of the day, or will Georgie Hernandez come back off of that 99-1 winner and give us a 3-2 winner? We will find out in about 8 minutes. The late pick 4 pool starts in about 6 minutes.